chat room. We are live. Let us know when you can see and hear us, please. If there is anyone out there in podcast land listening to us.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Echo.
Hello, everybody.
Echo bass?
Sure.
Yeah, that did not go well.
No.
Typey.
Check the live page. Sure, there's a live page. Live page. There's video, but is it? Oh, because I'm an idiot. Hang on.
But you're
I got everything done except
my idiot.
Hang on. I forgot to update the live page.
You're very cute.
Oh, I'm very broken. All right.
That's me, darling.
Still your line. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm a little more broken than you are.
Esther, come on. Okay. Sorry, chat room. Sorry, Ted, who has to edit this.
That would be you. Or do you edit it still? That would be you.
I edited it. We're going to... You and I actually have time to get together. We're going to talk about moving it over to Twitch. But
Yeah.
Twitch, you got to do with all the cool kids.
Yep.
Where the cool kids hang out.
Work is conspiring against us.
Oh, then we probably shouldn't move there because we are not cool kids.
We can talk about, hey, please subscribe. Please donate to my Patreon. And
Give us some bits.
Hip. If you subscribe to my Patreon, I'll let you spam the channel with my new emojis that I just made.
Maybe it's a good thing we're not live.
Yeah, no, it's how that's a party.
It'll be on the
Boost
video.
my own subscribers. I'm going to host another popular channel.
No, that doesn't sound like my kind of life at all.
All right. Hang on, I'm getting there. Computer's moving at the speed of slow. All right.
Now, Mew, do those ears, are those actually speakers up top?
Yes.
So you can actually play your music for the world?
Yes. They also glow and whatnot. If I charge them.
That might be the most quintessential Asian thing that you have in your room.
You have not seen my room.
You mean besides the poster behind him? Anyway.
Besides that, I know what the poster is behind him, so I know that.
Yeah, no,
Played the living piss out of that game. I can't tell you how many hours I put into the 13 series. Oh my god, more than I should have. I can't find all the freaking.
Come on,
can't find all the gates in 13 too.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Where are we going? Where is he?
Possible. All right. Delete one.
I'm already there.
It was a short trip.
Everything with me is a short trip, darling.
It's the joke, yeah. Updating live page now. Come on. I hit the button. You do the thing. That's kind of how it goes. All right. View page.
Okay, Discord does not rotate on the phone.
Okay, there's the live.
Okay, great. We can be seen and heard. Thank you, Speckles.
Yay. Whew, thank God. All right.
Who's all here?
All right.
I think it's just you.
Validate. I can see Mew's ears. Okay. The thumbnail again with the ears. Let's make sure this.
That's because the Mew ears are awesome.
The Mews?
Who gave me gin before a podcast?
All right.
That'll be fun.
When you are ready, lead us into this massacre. All right.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
There are 2 towers.
The faction battle reignites.
we have a secret. Oh, sorry, that was redacted.
We have Captain Sybil's STO update.
And Abovan is here to talk to us about Final Fantasy and probably other stuff.
All that and more coming up right now. Show theme here. Alrighty, welcome to episode 273 of the podcast celebrating the Alea Iacta Est gaming community, the Die Has Been podcast. Greetings, gamers. This is Mew Cow. To my left is Tetsemi.
So many invasions.
And to my right is Mikala.
Hey, AIE, there are scones and lemon cake and angel food cake in the guild kitchen.
Yum. And this week, we are joined by special guest Abovan, who is here to talk to us and give us updates on AIE and Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome.
Hey there. So I got this beautiful egg that I can ride this thing around and hold on. Oh, there's a chocobo. We'll
Sounds
talk
like a
about
scene from Aliens.
Yeah, you are not
Just
far
about.
off on that.
Just about.
You are not far off.
Oh my, that's a visual I didn't need.
Alrighty, so let's start with how everyone's been doing in real life and otherwise, starting with Tetsemi.
So patch 7.2 dropped for WoW this week, and I have been, let's call it shenanigans on Broken Isles.
Shenanigans.
I got the Defender of the Broken Isles, even though we don't need that achievement for flying, by doing the 4 different invasions in the 4 zones. Which I'm surprised they didn't invade Suramar, but maybe that's because they're already there in the city, so that doesn't count as an invasion point. But been doing that. I got a 895 ring out of one of the rewards, and I got a 900 blood artifact out of one of the world bosses that came up with the second tower. So that's it. Working my tail off, but trying to stay at least current with one character in WoW and keep up with what's going on. Rep-wise, I'm just about 1,500 into Honored, so I think you have to get 12,000 to get to Revered, which is the last piece I need for flying. So time to go grind out some world quests in the Broken Shore once they're up. I generally do like the 4 or 5 that are there, and then just log out and go actually do real work and other stuff, and then log back in when they're back up. So that's been my week. But what about you, McCullough?
Not gaming enough. And not gaming enough, I mean not even playing D&D enough.
Yeah, I saw
Because
that.
our D&D game got canceled Thursday night just due to schedule and all of this. And the week before was shorter than it needed to be. So yeah, looking for a game, LFG. Actually so our current Thursday night gaming crew is all AIE members. We added a new member. I believe in the guild name is Indata. She also goes as Azra. She's also a friend of mine from work. And we had a healer leave, like literally like, hey guys, I'm not playing anymore. And we're like trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And I'm like, I message her at work. I'm like, so how do your Thursday nights look? Because I can actually get a game. So I can get a player for a game in 2.3 seconds flat. I just can't get a game for myself. Very frustrating. So besides that, Comic-Con's gearing up. I'm gearing up for Comic-Con. Nevermore, Leontine and I are vendors at Phoenix Comic-Con. So that tends to mean about the 2 to 3 months before Comic-Con, there's a lot of crafting, real life crafting, and I'm working on my jewel crafting. It's kind of gnomish / goblinish because it's steampunk, of course. So
Looking up.
the week before last, I did 7 pairs of earrings. This last week, I did 7 necklaces. This week is 7 more necklaces at least. So that's kind of where my focus has been, is gaming, wishing I was rolling dice and or playing with pixels and working on Comic-Con.
Sounds like you got plenty to do.
Just a little. Hey, Tit, what have you been up to in and out of game?
How about we ask
about
Mew?
Who gave me gin before this podcast?
Wasn't me.
And why aren't you sharing?
Because you're not here.
Well, as far as me, I've pretty much been swallowed into Mass Effect Andromeda. As we have the flashing Pathfinder sign back here. Yeah, it's essentially absorbed every extra time that I'm not raiding, which we did actually accomplish something pretty big this week. We did get a boss down this week. As part of the FERT raid group. So there was definitely big news there. And we actually managed to remember to take
Congratulations, FERT.
we remembered to take a picture, which isn't, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, I got to post that still. Thanks for the reminder.
But yeah, other than that, working on, I did on my warrior, we did finally take down heroic Helia. That was definitely hell yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, that we got. It was interesting. I didn't realize this, but when you take down the heroic end boss of a raid tier, you get a special transmog set. It's just the whole set. You just pop whole set.
Oh, neat.
So
it's kind of like the PvP season sets where you just buy the one token and it gives you the whole appearance.
Yes, exactly. So that's apparently the reward for getting down the heroic version of anything, at least in this expansion. So that's pretty
great.
Cool. That group is still working on heroic Nighthold. We figured, we've got some really good gear, and we didn't have enough to really continue progression on Nighthold, so we just kind of decided to finish out Helia and just get that out of the way. So it was hard, but we finally did accomplish it, and we'll never go back there again.
Nice.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, as I said earlier, Andromeda, just lots of that. I'm enjoying the story. The glitches don't bug me apparently anywhere near as much as all the noisy internet whiners are. They fixed a couple of the major ones, like the dead eyes. They fixed the eyes, so that apparently has helped a lot.
Right.
I didn't see. We found out that by having the subtitles on, apparently I wasn't paying attention to the eyeballs as much because I was kind of reading, even though I don't need to read, but I was reading anyway. I did notice it after they fixed it. I was like, wow, that's a big difference. They don't look like they're just doll eyes. So
yeah, no, the screenshots and the video of the before and after is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Yeah, so because of that, I haven't been able to touch much else other than a little bit of time in Final Fantasy, but we'll talk about that later. So that leaves us with Abo. What have you been up to?
Well, work's been keeping me busy, but I have been logging in each evening into Final Fantasy and playing with that. We have the Final Fantasy Friday nights, the F4Ns, Final Fantasy Friday Fun Nights, which we all get on and we do stuff. And the stuff could be, leveling stuff or whatever the case may be. That's been pretty successful. We have a lot of fun there. We've been starting up some Palace of the Dead statics, which is also very cool. Which means we progress past level 100, and it gets really hard, really quick in there. So bring your A game.
Yep.
Besides those games there, I've been keeping since the announcement of the Heroes 2.0 system. That's coming out. Was it 1 week or 2 weeks from now?
Pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. I've been doinking around a few there, sort of fell off the wagon on that game a little bit. So I'm just trying to get my feet wet back into that game. But also been playing a lot of on my PlayStation, a lot of Rocket League, Paladins, and Disc Jam are 3 games that has been interesting me. Rocket League, they just started a new season. I play competitive on there, and I got carried 9 out of my 10 games. So I got put up onto a much higher tier than I should that I should ever even sniff. And I was getting my you know what handed to me time after time again, just because they put me at such a higher tier than where I should have been.
It's always weird when they hand you your own arms. That's very strange.
Yes, yeah, it's very odd place to be where I log in knowing I have no chance of winning.
That's something to live up to.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, I guess with that, we'll start digging into Final Fantasy XIV. But first, let's cover this week's news.
AIE News. Something like that.
Are you having trouble keeping track of what AIE is doing in all the games we play? Well, glance over at the guild calendar and take a look at all the activities. That will be...
it looks pretty full.
Yeah, very full. Link is in the show notes. Check it out. Guild calendar. And on to more fun news in AIE. Galadian posted the forums to let everyone know about a new MMO in development called Ashes of Creation. It's a player-driven content MMO with the content unlocked by player activities around hidden nodes in the game. More than 6 minute video of the basic concepts is also in the forum post. Let us know what you think in the forum post below. Read the forums.
Yeah, I watched the video and it looks like an interesting concept. It'll be interesting to see how they pulled it off. It's very similar to what the folks that did the I can't think of the name. The people that were using the Open D20 rules for a lot of their content were trying to do with the organic content. Basically, like, you don't know what monsters are in the area until some traveling caravan shows up at the hub, and then you start bringing them supplies and stuff. And when the hub goes from a campsite into a township, then new monsters and new threats appear, and you have to deal with those. But it also opens up like mining nodes and other things and then you basically grow the city from there. And they're going to have more videos on how they're going to do the player run government and that sort of stuff. But it looks like a really interesting concept for an MMO.
Very cool.
And speaking of MMOs, let's talk World of Warcraft, which we touched on briefly. Follow up from our last podcast, New Braid did invade Trials of Valor, and they were able to knock down 2 of the first bosses in Trial. So way to go, New Braid. Good
Congrats,
job.
Guys.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Most impressive.
Also, patch 7.2 has been out for a bit now, and players have unlocked 2 of the 3 towers and experienced what was offered by each. Most feedback seems to indicate the solo scenario for your class weapons was very difficult, and higher level gear is going to be needed for most folks to complete the scenario. Also, the extra loot chest that came from the random buff did provide extra loot, but I think folks were looking for a bit more loot from it, other than just resources and things like that.
I didn't even bother with that. I knew by looking at it, even with my heroically geared tune, it's like, yeah, I don't have the time and frustration level to even try that right now. I'm going to wait until a little later.
Yeah, exactly.
Good idea.
All right, and the Nether Disruptor Tower was completed and brought with it a world boss that has a chance to drop loot. That's where I got the item level 900 Blood Relic for my tanking weapon, as well as an item that gives you artifact power. With level 27 artifact knowledge, which is what I had, that item alone gives you 1.2 million AP, which is a ton of AP, except by the time you get it, you're into items that are requiring 13, 17, 22 million AP to advance. So it's still a nice chunk, and it's good to get. So it's worth doing the world bosses when they're up. You also get a buff that if you spend a bonus roll token and you don't get bonus loot, there's a chance the token will be refunded to you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's nice. Also, more unstable nether portals are created when the tower is up, and there's a chance to get artifactor commendations, which are used in crafting legendaries by the 4 armor class professions, tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing. Sorry, 3 armor class professions. I forgot leatherworking counts as
double
both.
duty.
Yeah, it does double duty. So, deal. Also, Legion invasions are active, but the requirement to complete all 4, as we discussed earlier, has been removed from Pathfinder Part 2 to unlock flying in Legion. The requirements now are Pathfinder Part 1, explore all of Broken Shore, and getting to revered reputation with armies of Legion Fall. For those of you that got everything except Broken Wood is the little island off to the northwest of Broken Shore that, unless there's a quest active, you really don't go there. Even during the opening, when it leads you through the Broken Shore and says, go get the 3 flight points and go up to the dungeon and do this. It's one off to the side that you have to actively go find. So just a hint on that. And getting reputation with Legion Fall is achieved through work orders in your class hall, completing the world quests that are up in Broken Shore, and turning in building supplies for towers from said world quests. Legion invasions do not give Legion Fall reputation, but they do help with the reputation for the zone that they are in.
Makes sense.
All right. In SOTOR news, last week, AIE SEMA, Max the Grey, and Astromech EPC 187 talk about the second set of Uprising that was added to the game in Update 5.1. Hats off to AIE SEMA, who was a trooper and did a podcast with a wicked cold. Bravo, SEMA. And this week, AIE SEMA, Max the Grey, and Astromech 188 talk about the new Tithe preview videos that the community was able to release, and they also brainstorm on some of the questions attendees might be able to ask at the Cantina event in Orlando next weekend. I can't wait for all the news coming out of there. All right, and in SOTOR news, the war for battle reignites. A good write-up about the upcoming patch, storylines, and information about the conflict on ICAF is on the SOTOR main site. As an Outlander, you'll have to decide if you want to side with the Republic and its new commander, Jace Malcolm, or the Empire and the new leader, Empress Asina. Of defining notes is the returning companions, Quinn and Alara. They will side with you depending on if you side with the Empire or the Republic. Sith warriors have another way to get Quinn back. There are still choices you can make that determines whether you get them or not. These companions are tied to story and not dailies and reputation. Also, as a reminder, you'll need to be level 70 to access patch 5.2 content, which means you must have been a subscriber in the past, but do not need to be a current subscriber.
And I will tell you this, that decision of whether you side with the Republic or Empire on IOCAF is, at least for me and my characters, is going to be a very tough one, because even my Republic characters, the Trooper especially, just his whole storyline is betrayal, rebuild, betrayal, bad command decision, bad leadership. Just, not that the Empire was any better, but it's almost like, do I really side with them? Because during the alliance piece of it, when you built your alliance, the Republic withdrew and isolated themselves, whereas the Empire and Empress Asina actually came and helped you and actively helped you in the situation. So it's going to be interesting to see how that story choice is presented in game along with the companions.
Cool.
Indeed. Alrighty, now to Guild Wars 2 news. Good news, everyone. Oh, wait, wrong game. The Guild Hall is at the actual Unlock event stage. It's a drawn-out series of fights that clear out the Guild Hall and take over for the Guild. We need level 80s with the HOT expansion. Is it Heart of Thorns?
Heart of Thorns, yes.
It is.
Yeah. And access to gliding is very, very helpful. For updates, please check in with the forum thread. It's in the show notes. As well as the Guild Wars 2 channel in AIE Discord. Remember that this is going to be the Roger Ralph White Memorial Guild Hall, so please help if you are able. And also, we know you like fun, and in fact, it's mandatory you have fun, which is why the AIE Guild and Guild Wars 2 has instituted mandatory fun nights on Monday evenings. For more information, check the forum thread. It's in the show notes, as well as the Guild calendar we mentioned earlier.
All right. And in the secret world, we talked about that last time. We got a bit more news, including a producer letter from the Secret World producers. I'm going to read a little bit from it, just some of the interesting points that they brought up. They said, today we're writing to announce that the Secret World will be relaunching this spring as Secret World Legend, a shared world action RPG featuring over 100 hours of story-driven quests, revamped gameplay, and progression systems that will be completely free to play. Given the sweeping extent of the changes being implemented, Secret World Legends will reset story progression for anyone who joins, offering a fresh start for all players. So if you're worried you missed out on something or you didn't know where you were in the storyline, this is kind of a reset to start you over. However, if you're worried that losing your progression in Secret World, don't worry. Secret World Legends will exist on a different server than the Secret World, meaning you'll still be able to play your old character on the Secret World server. They've also made some major improvements into the game and server, so Secret World Legends will have its own client, so you can have both Legends and Secret World installed on the same computer and play either game at any time. If you're intrigued by Secret World Legends but don't want to leave behind the things you've worked hard to attain in the Secret World, worry not. A free transfer process will allow you to move vanity items like mounts, pets, vehicles, and other customizations that have been purchased through the item store from the Secret World to your character in the Secret World Legends. It is also, they just announced closed beta, and there is a sign up on the main page of Secret World Legends, and I, for one, cannot wait to see what they're going to come out with, because I love that game, but I could not maintain a second, third subscription, so that sounds like it's going to be a fun...
That is the buzz I hear. All right. Pardon the pun, guys. All right. And we have Captain Sybil's Star Trek Online news summary for the week ending in 4/9/2017. A new featured episode, Survivor, was released April 3rd. Loyalist, traitor, daughter, hero, villain, warlord, empress, yes. Sala of Romulus fame returns. Is it for good or is it for evil? Only players of this episode shall know the secret of her return. New rewards for completion on this episode shall be added every week for the next 3 weeks. A new backstory has been posted to the Star Trek Online website entitled Ripples. This features a new mission, Survivor. The crew of the time ship USS picks up time ripples that lead to the Survivor. The surprising events that follow are totally unexpected, and as always, of course, no spoilers. And hey, First Contact Day just happened. On April 5th, 2063, the legendary scientist Zephyr Cochrane flew his experimental warp ship to become the first man to achieve faster-than-light travel. This accomplishment was detected by a passing Vulcan explorer vessel, initiating mankind's first contact with advanced extraterrestrials. Free computer desktop wallpaper of the historic event are now available on the STO website. This day is also celebrated with a special event where players help Dr. Cochrane select parts to build the first warp drive spaceship. In addition, a First Contact sci-fi short story writing contest was introduced, which ends on April 14th. So get your pens and keyboards going. Both events prizes are listed on the Star Trek Online website. This weekend is the annual Shuttle Weekend event. Players fly their favorite shuttlecraft to assist a Romulan colony fend off a giant walking tanks and airborne attacks. Rewards are also posted on the website. We should probably go there. And don't forget, AIE's fleet base, Starship Base, is always seeking contributions of material and personnel. Once again, check out the news, backstories, patch notes, forums, commentary, and other goodies on the Star Trek Online website, StarTrekOnline.com. Thank you, as always, Captain Sybil, for the STO updates.
Alrighty, and with that, let's get back to Abo and find out what's been going on in Final Fantasy XIV and beyond.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on once again.
No
problem. As of today, which is April 9th, 2017, we are now 67 days until the Stormblood Early Access is available to us. Stormblood is the next expansion coming out for Final Fantasy XIV. That's June 16th if you're listening to the podcast downloaded version. not synchronously. June 16th for early access and June 20th for general availability. So even if you're just someone who says, I just want to check the game out, the expansion will hit for you guys on the 20th. But if you pre-order the game, you get to play on the 16th. Same stuff that everybody else does.
Awesome.
All right. But let's say you have not purchased the game yet. You have not tried the game out yet or anything else like that. But you're a charitable person. It is now available on the Humble Bundle, which this time around it's going to benefit Child's Play, which is the
Perfect.
was it Penny Arcade? Is that right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Those guys, that's their charity. I've actually seen their work done for hospitals out there. My local hospitals do participate in their things. They actually provide DVDs and video games and other nerd things that we do to kids in the hospital who are there for the long haul or even just like for an overnight stay. Get a chance to play some Minecraft with them. And they help purchase all the stuff needed, like all the carts, all the video games, and everything else, so that those kids do have something to do. So Child's Play by itself is an awesome charity, and the fact that if you go to buy a game, you want to benefit them, cool. So, in addition to being a charitable game, the game is on sale right now at the Humble Bundle. You can get the base game, which is a Realm Reborn. You can get started for $10. You can get the expansion for $10, or you can buy both of them at the same time for the price of $19.79, giving you a savings of 18 cents.
Where are you going to spend that 18 cents? I mean, honestly.
18 cents.
18 cents.
18 cents. Now, there's what can you do with 18 cents? Well, there's a lot of websites out there that can tell you what you can do with a penny on Amazon. So I would recommend looking them up. So 18 cents back in your pocket for buying both at the same time.
Penny trading.
Yes. 18 1-cent candies.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. But let's say you don't want to give up any money because you say, I don't know yet. Well, there is a trial, like most games. However, they made some changes to the trials as of the last patch that came out. Same day that every other game patched. when WoW patch, I think there was a Guild Wars patch. There's also a Final Fantasy patch. All on the same day.
Of course.
Yep.
Why not?
That works.
Why not? But with that patch, they removed any sort of time limits on their demo, and they also upped the level limit that you can get on there as well. Previously, you go up to level 25. Well, now it's 35, and that's significant because in addition to more story content, blah 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 blah. The big thing is though, at level 30, you are eligible, assuming you hit all the other requirements, to go from a class to a job, which is almost like a more advanced version of the class. All right, you get all the proper skills of the kit and some other odds and ends there, so you can get a really good feel on how the character really plays towards as you play through the game. The game does change at max level. There is always that caveat out there, but there is a lot more actual feel to how the class plays once you get the job. And now with the demo, you can actually experience that. And with no time limits on there, that's even better. So you can take your time or possibly do many of the classes, not just one or two.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. The trials it is a new account. So I can't just go on and say I only want to play this as a free-to-play game. No, I would have to essentially start over, and there are some other limitations on there.
That seems fair.
But you can new accounts, and that account is available on your PC version and the PlayStation version, Mac version, or Steam version. Okay.
Very cool. Yep.
There you go. One thing to point out with the game, with the licensing, the way the license is written for this game is a little funky here. Just because you have it for PC, I mean, you have to, if you want to play it on your PlayStation 4, that is another license of the game. You can cover it under the same sub, but you have to have the license for that. Furthermore,
which means buying the game. Yeah,
it is buying the game again. It's just how the license is written. One other big caveat out there for PC players is the Steam version is a different license than the PC version, and that's that's a very important point there. So if you purchase the original game on Steam, you buy your expansions on Steam, and that's it. If you bought the PC version, like a box version or a digital download from someplace else, you continue to buy it from other places, but don't buy the Steam expansion thinking that you can apply it to your PC version. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, Steam is basically treating itself like a console now. It's no longer PC, it's now Steam. So that's why they kind of changed that. Yeah. So yeah, PC, Steam, PS4, Xbox, they're all consoles now.
But that means if you buy it for PC, if you buy it on Steam for the PC and you wanted to play it on a Mac, you wouldn't have the license to do that. You'd have to buy it on Steam for the Mac, or does it carry over?
It carries over unless the the actual company says otherwise. The license, you buy something for, you buy a game, you can play it on, because I have a Mac and I have a PC, and I can play the same games if they have a Mac version on the Mac, and it doesn't charge me extra.
Good. All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Steam is considered a console now. That's the thing. Is like, especially with the Steam Shield or whatever it is to actually have TV mode and has the console. They really want to consider themselves a separate console now. It just happens to run on PC or a Mac.
So Hordling, then, if she had a game on Steam, she could play it on the laptop or her Mac.
Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice.
If there was a Mac version.
Right.
All right. Now, with all that said, let's say I do have Steam installed on my PC, which most of us normally do, and I have another machine hooked up to my TV, and I do the in-house streaming. I can do Steam in-house streaming on a non-Steam game. So let's say I want to stream it to my TV, my big screen TV that I have. I'm able to do that through Steam in-home streaming. It does work. It works beautifully, actually. As long as I stay wired on both sides.
Yeah.
If I go wireless, someone in my within 5 miles turns on a microwave or makes a cell phone call, and my connection drops.
Right.
Gotcha.
So if I stay wired, I'm fine. Power line without this turning into the AIE networking show.
Right.
Power line adapters.
We got people to do it.
Yes, we do. But power line adapters is a viable alternative to wireless in that scenario.
Yeah, just don't ask me to punch down the cables in the Ethernet because I'm color deficient, and that won't end well.
No, that's why you have me. Because that's the extent of my technical ability is helping you with that.
Yeah, that's green. That's red. It's blue.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. Bye.
It's happened. No, it's happened.
The brown and the brown white ones throw me off.
Yeah, is that brown with white stripe, or is that white with a brown stripe? Or wait, the same one.
It all throws him off. It's a good time.
Yeah, just spend $10,000, just get a fluke.
You best not.
Yeah, because who has $10,000 lying around?
Right. No, I don't want $10,000, but I do want a Ethernet tester eventually. Yes.
Okay. So moving on from there. So, if you are thinking of starting up the game, come hop into the Final Fantasy Discord and say hello and say, hey, I'd like to give this game a try. We in the free company can toss you a friend code. The friend code will give you bonuses. We'll give you the recipient bonuses. So it'll give you some teleportation tickets, so you don't have to spend money to zip around the world. You'll get so many silver feathers, which allow you to get gear sets every so often.
Yeah, the silver is for the receive.
Yeah, for the receive. The receive, the descendee. I guess the golden ones.
Yep.
You'll get gear and some other stuff there. So you receive benefits as a new player, and the sender receives benefits. So everybody wins.
Yep.
There is also, let's say you have played the game for. I mean, refer friends is nothing new. Many games do that, but this game also has refer a friend back to play the game. So let's say they have played it sometime, and then life gone away, or decide to play other games, or what have you. You can. Yeah, someone can refer you back into the game for a new set of rewards, including 7 days of free game time, just straight up. Yep. So someone can refer you back to play the game again, and you'll get a free 7 days out of it. And if you subscribe back up, then you'll get some more rewards as well, including some feathers, and the sending person also gets feathers, so they can get the awesome Twitania mount, which is awesome.
Yeah. The basically the big difference between the feathers, the gold feathers gives you more stuff for visual stuff, mounts and visual gear, whereas the silver feathers are more for buying like leveling gear, so that the new player can help catch up. So it's kind of a very useful process either way.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. Also, for the PlayStation players out there, if you have a PlayStation Plus, you received a system update recently. The system update included one key feature in my mind, for this conversation at least, something called boost mode. So the PlayStation 4 Pro is a upgraded PlayStation 4. Has a lot more gusto behind it. Essentially, supports 4K gaming, has some faster CPU speeds and video card speeds and all that good stuff. But the game had previously to this patch, the game had to be able to support the PlayStation 4 hardware in order to be able to use all the additional capabilities, all the additional hardware capabilities of the console. But with the last patch, PlayStation patch that came out, or firmware, or whatever they call it, it allows you to go into boost mode, which pretty much taps the unlocked potential of the PlayStation to provide additional frame rates or reduce loading times of the game.
Oh, wow.
So the changes to that, you turn on boost mode, some games will perform better. Some games may not see much of a change. Some games may get buggy, depending on how it's written.
Yep.
The Final Fantasy XIV is one of the ones that plays better. Significantly better. High detail, 60 frames a second in nearly all circumstance type better.
Wow.
For $400 for the PlayStation. It is very difficult at this day in the way technology is priced right now to get a computer for $400 that can match the performance that this game has.
Yeah,
on the
agree.
PlayStation. There's a lot of comparison videos out there. If you're looking for some or something like that, just give us a holler on there. It is strongly made me consider upgrading my PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 4 Pro and not upgrade my video card, which I desperately need to do. It's that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't know if we've discussed it on here, but one of the reasons why that is Square Enix and PlayStation tend to have a pretty close relationship. And if you've never played a native Sony game on a PS4 and notice how just dramatically better looking the game is compared to a game that has to be made for the PS4 and the Xbox, you can tell the difference. I mean, it's a huge difference. And my feeling is that they just worked really closely with Sony, and they actually gave them kind of the keys to the extra boost mode stuff that they don't always give to everyone because, you're also an Xbox. Well, Square's was an exclusive PlayStation thing for a while, so I can see them giving them special extra stuff. So it doesn't surprise me at all that the boost mode works so well.
right, and there has been confirmation that when Stormblood hits, we will have an official boost mode as well.
Nice.
We'll just need to. We're just not there yet, so we'll get additional benefits once that hits. And just one quick reminder: when Stormblood does hit, regardless if you upgrade to Stormblood or not, if you're on a PlayStation 3 playing the game, first off, God help you. Secondly, the game will cease to stop working and cease to connect to the servers come Stormblood.
Yep.
So June 19th would be the last day you could play with the PlayStation 3 client. Moving to a PlayStation 3 to a PlayStation 4 client is a free upgrade once you buy the PlayStation 4.
Gotcha.
They won't give you a free console. But
Right.
they'll upgrade your software for free.
Right, exactly. So if you bought the license for the PS3 and now you have a PS4, it'll play fine on there.
Yeah.
Right. They'll convert. They'll do a one-way conversion.
Yeah, it's very akin to how recently WoW said they were dropping support for the XP, for Windows XP. So they're just trying to get rid of that old stuff so they can not have to do lowest common denominator stuff for that older stuff.
Exactly. They're moving the target on the lowest common denominator.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, Stormblood will have new system requirements, a little bit higher than what originally came out. Nothing too drastic. But they are asking everyone to go to a 64-bit OS, which means you got your computer within the last couple of years.
Yeah.
64-bit OSs have been around for a while. Now they want us. My feeling is the expansion after that, they're probably going to say you got to have 64-bit OS, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's going to be what 2019, maybe 2020 when that comes out.
Yeah,
people should have migrated off Windows Vista and 7 by then to at least 10 or something like that.
Yes. Okay. Then there was also a discussion from the director of Final Fantasy XIV, Yoshi P. And there was a discussion on a topic called boost potions. Now, in Final Fantasy terms, a boost potion, and this is actually live out in the Korea version of the game to the China version of the game, but it's not live in the North America, Japan, or European version of the game. So this is a lot of this is just discussion, but something that we're expecting to see sometime over the course of Stormblood. And this may be something for the general gaming world, not just limited to Final Fantasy here, since a lot of games are sort of doing something similar. So in Final Fantasy terms, they have boost potions in two flavors: a leveling boost potion and a story boost potion. Now, what it does is it will jump your character up from level 1 to level, let's say 60, and let's say the level cap is 70 for the current expansion. So it brings you current up so you can start playing the new expansion immediately, so you can start playing the game. Cool. The way Final Fantasy works, though, is that you have all your different characters. So if you want to max out all your characters, you need to buy that jump potion, one for your warrior, one for your white mage, one for your black mage, one for your ninja, one for your everything. Okay?
And this is for the class, because you can have a single character that can do all this, but it's the class on that character that you'd have to boost. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So if you wanted to be max level everything, you would have to buy this potion. It's gonna be 15 classes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
By Stormblood, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So and you'll think around. The price is still up for grabs. I mean, there's some numbers floating around like $15, $20, $25. Who knows what it might be? Does it?
So similar to the WoW boost token or something like that.
Yeah,
right.
Just it's a bit different. It's kind of a weird, murky thing because for WoW it's $60 to get up to the current minimum level to do the current expansion. Whereas with Final Fantasy, it's kind of the same, but not really, because you kind of have to level multiple classes. You can't just level the one. So they're going to be a little cheaper than 60. Obviously, 60 is a bit much for that.
Right.
Now, so was it it makes your character super powerful, but you still have to go through the story content. So if you're someone who wants to play the current content now, but you haven't brought that up, well, then they also have a different type of jump potion, boost potion rather. It's a story boost, which will essentially take all the flags on your character, so that it says, "Oh yeah, I've already saved the world 14 times. I have talked to this person here, and I am now ready to step into Stormblood for the first steps." Well, then that would be a different potion you could purchase there. So you could, in theory, buy a leveling potion, and that's it. Have this one super awesome class, go through all the story content, blast through all of it, through all the dungeons, through all the story stuff, and experience the story at your own pace without having to level anything up, so you won't have any roadblocks. Or if you just want to start playing with your buddies now, you can buy a leveling potion and a story potion. Essentially, it might be like a combination deal if we buy the two together. Who knows? We don't know that information yet, but that is something that you'll be able to play with your buddies immediately. So the question I want to have out there for discussion here, hearing what we have here, what do you guys think of having these jump potions in the games? That's something before. There's always going to be that internet presence that say, "I hate this because I had to do this myself. These people are noobs." Blah 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 blah. I'm so awesome type of rants.
Well,
there's always those, but there is some validity to that as well. Just maybe not in the whole internet rage speak.
Right. Well, I mean, that's definitely trolls talking, and I don't mean the race, because you got to think about it. WoW does something very similar. Lots of different places do something very similar, where you don't have to deal with that gateway to entrance. And if you're trying to convince your buddy to play with you, the last thing you want is for them to have to spend all that time to get to where you are. So I think it makes it for a very user-friendly experience as compared to, yes, okay, so somebody had to go, walk uphill to, both ways in the snow barefoot. But that doesn't have to be everyone's experience. And if you want to play with people, let it be open for those channels.
Right. And go ahead, Mew.
I was going to say, you're probably going to touch Star Wars, but for content for context, WoW essentially does this already. If you buy the level 100 boost, it already you're given a fully done garrison, and like that. Essentially, you can go back and do all the quests if you want, but like your character is set up as if it had gone through everything already, and can do whatever it wants, but is ready to just start with Legion. And Star Wars is probably even more unique in that way, which I'm assuming Ted's wanted to touch on.
Yeah, because it puts you right now. The level boost puts you at the beginning of Knights of the Fallen Empire Throne, whichever one came first. Sorry, coffee. The one that it basically boosts you to 60, and then you need to go through 60 to 65, and then at 65 you unlock the next part of it. I have no problem with it technically.
Sorry,
Fallen Empire.
There you go. Yes.
But my issue with it, and again, it's a catch-22. If you're targeting at the brand new player who's never played the game and wants to join their friends, and they're willing to buy the story boost and stuff, that's great. But I think then that person's also missing out on all the backstory and the previous content, and may not enjoy the story content as much because they're not getting the full story. Like if I'd come into Star Wars blind and just started at Knights of the Fallen Empire, but didn't know like the 1 to 60, so I didn't do my Trooper storyline, or I didn't do my Jedi storyline, or the Sith storyline, me personally, I would find that a huge detriment because I'd be missing all that context. So,
and you're also missing the huge bit about the fact, like, who are all these people coming back and saying, "Hey, do you miss me?" Right.
Yeah, which you get with the character boost because they come back and then you can always ask them, "Hey, do I remember you?" And they'll tell you what this, they'll tell you how you met them and stuff like that. I'd almost want to put a limit, not a limit, but I'd almost want to put a prerequisite on there, kind of like they did with the Death Knights. Like you can have a Death Knight once you've taken another character in WoW. Once you've taken another character to, I think it was level 60 at the time, because they started at 55. So once you got a character to 60, then you could unlock the Death Knight as a new player and play that. So,
and the Demon Hunters are set that way now too. You have to at least per server. You have to have at least one character level, I think, 100 before they'll let you even start. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so to me, that kind of makes, and I know it's not somebody being able to roll a level 100 and start immediately without paying for the boost. But I think while I see the technical aspects of it, I think you're kind of missing out on something if you do it. Do I think it should be available? No, because there are the number of reasons to do the boost, I think, much outweigh and don't diminish what the other people have done. If people are complaining like solo Molten Core now on multiple characters, no one gets mad that I can walk in and solo Molten Core because they had to raid with 40 people and do it. I mean, it's kind of a similar thing. You got to experience all that leveling content and all that enjoyment of the game when it was live. Having somebody boost to level cap and be able to start playing at that point doesn't in any way diminish sort of what you did, or even diminish your enjoyment of that time, or it shouldn't, because that was you playing the game while they were doing something else. You got to enjoy all that content, live. kind of see it like if somebody said, "Oh, I can go in and get the Black Scarab Lord mount and title now in WoW with the opening of Encourage," people completely losing their mind over it. But that's not what this is. This is just I'm getting to current content so I can play with my friends,
Right.
and I think it's fine.
Yep.
All right. I mean, the way Final Fantasy is unique there is that you need to be able to do any sort of content. You could be level 2 bazillion, but if you haven't completed the story content, you can't get into that next expansion.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
which makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, and
And we had a really. Oh, sorry. I'll say back to the subject. Max pointed out something really great. They often will, like with SOTOR, they'll recommend that players go back to starting level 1 story anyway.
Mhm.
Like a great part of the game. That boosting option as well. But yeah, if you're trying to enjoy the story part of it, it's awesome to have it. If you're there to meet up with where your friends are at, then there is also that great option to do that.
yeah,
And I think my biggest concern, sorry, Mew, my biggest thing is these games are all about content. So you're having to voluntarily skip content to get to current, and if that's what you need to do to play with your friends, that's fine. But go back and enjoy that content because, it's not like, oh, I'm skipping it because it's bad. If you skipped any of the 1 to 60 stuff on Star Wars, there's 8 different classes. There's 8 different storylines, 1 to 60 or 1 to 50. I forget. I think it's 1 to 50 for that are well worth enjoying. In fact, that's what I did when WoW didn't have content. I leveled up characters to see that content, to see that story. I didn't just say, oh, I want to stop playing the current content, so I'm just going to boost them. No, I leveled them all up. So
I think it all depends on what type of player you are as well.
Yeah, there is, however, a unique bit here. The thing about the Final Fantasy story boost is that you have one character that can do multiple classes. In SWTOR, when you're boosting one character, one class, you can go back and recreate that character and go through its class quest. You can go back and create a Sith warrior and then do its stuff. You can go back. That's the thing. Final Fantasy, when you boost your story, you're gone. That's all that stuff's gone on that character. The way Final Fantasy 14 characters are set up is it's a whole ecosystem of classes. So it's kind of it's almost like you have no way of going back because you're not going to find many people in Final Fantasy 14 that have multiple characters because of the way that they had the class system. So it's a little bit interesting of sort of something to think about. You kind of have to hesitate. Like, do you really want to bypass all that content?
yeah, exactly. And I mean, honestly, with the guides and everything out there, how long would it take a dedicated person to current just playing the storyline?
A fair clip, but if they've gotten the level boost, it'll be a whole lot easier. Assuming, of course, the level boost gives you gear too.
Right, exactly. And yeah, so it's because does Final Fantasy do the level scaling like Guild Wars 2 and Star Wars does?
Yeah, for certain
Yes.
things. Yeah,
Well,
for
yeah.
certain things.
And there is the option to do things unsynced now as well, but then there's your rewards for doing that thing will be minimal.
Mhm.
But if you were going in to clear a quest flag or to complete a quest, yes, you could do that unsynced and completely destroy. In most cases, you will destroy the boss. There's a couple times that you will do too much damage and you'll enrage a boss because you didn't do the thing before he hit 25% because you did too much damage. That
Oh,
happens.
like killing a Toonman the Horseman's, killing the mount too fast when you're trying to get the mount to drop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Except it says, "Oh no, you failed because you didn't do this in time. I win."
Yeah.
Wahaha.
Right.
Yeah, we ran into a couple times doing pony runs on the Final Fantasy Friday Fun Nights.
No, I think generically I understand, and I think it's fine. You want the game to encourage. It would be interesting, like if they did the level boost generically. I'm talking about where they did the level boost and said, hey, if you go back and do the story flags, then you get this at the end of it, as opposed to the person that actually boosts it would miss that out. So, maybe there's they could drive the incentive in Final Fantasy to say, hey, go ahead and level boost your character. But if you play through all the content, people that are played through it kvetching, so maybe they get it automatically. You get this nice mount, or you get this nice armor set, or you get this nice transmog, or something like that, to encourage people to go through and play the story as opposed to boosting it.
Alrighty. Well, that's our boost potion discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good
That
discussion.
was good stuff there. Nice to talk about some things and how they apply to other games. I think that's one of the awesome things that we can do in AIE. We can do in AIE because we play so many games.
Yes.
All right. So, other Stormblood related news here. Just going to try to bang these out real quick. There is a full trailer available for Stormblood. The last Final Fantasy Fun Fest or Fan Fest, whatever it may be, they are fun, but they're also for the fans. But the last one did come and go, so we have the full Final Fantasy Stormblood trailer up now. It is very pretty. There will be a link in the show notes, or just come on down. I can get you the link. It's one of my saved links that I have on YouTube. Quick recap here. New continent, fighting the Empire. Hoorah. New classes. You could be both DPS. You can be a samurai, or you can be a red mage, which is more like a one-handed sword raper type dude with a little glowy, floaty globe thing for magic stuff. So that'll be interesting to see how they actually play in the game. There will be a combat revamp, which means a lot of the rotations and ability squish that we may have seen in other games. That's going to be happening. So please look forward to that. I most certainly am, because my bars is like playing the piano in some classical concert right now, trying to do all my rotation. So I'm really looking forward to a item ability squish to simplify things. We are in the middle of a holiday event, the Hatching Tide, which the main reward there is, as I inferred at the beginning of the podcast here, is a gigantic egg that floats around that can fly through the flight-enabled zones, and it has a special ability to hatch open, and a little baby, a chick chocobo, comes flying out and scares people. Mm-hmm. And it's very adorable.
Yes.
And one last note here to talk about here is because this is a Japanese game, Japan does things that Japan does. One of which is that they have a real-life drama series based around people who play Final Fantasy XIV, namely a father and son reconnecting drama. And the medium that got them two together is by playing Final Fantasy XIV. Well, that series is going to be available on Netflix soon.
Oh, very cool.
At least in the US? Japan first. They're going to be starting Japan on April 20th. Probably won't get to the US until the fall, because it's just in Japanese, no subtitles or anything like that. But I imagine at some point they'll subtitle it. Who knows? Maybe they want to dub it because that's why they're waiting till the fall. But yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things like that. I mean, the game is pretty popular in Japan as well. I mean, there's an actual Final Fantasy XIV. What is it? Cafe?
Yes.
Yorzi Cafe.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a Final Fantasy themed restaurant essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I
heard Bacala wanted to say something.
No? Oh, no, I was just saying that's very cool that they have that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was more going to comment on the name of the show doesn't translate very well. For us, it's called Daddy of Light, but it's honestly it probably would translate better to Father of Light, because for those that are familiar with Final Fantasy XIV, you are a warrior of light. Mm-hmm. But in Japanese, they use the more informal version of father. But for us, that's daddy. For them, it doesn't have quite the same weird connotations that daddy does. But maybe they'll hammer that a little later.
Yep. So we'll see how that turns out. See if it actually translates well, or if it's more of a localized thing. But we'll see.
Yeah, it looks interesting because it's not just the father and son. Like it actually sounds like the entire family essentially starts joining in and like becomes their raid team. You know, his sister and grandparents and like everyone joins in and actually plays the game.
That is very Japanese. All right.
Yes.
So besides that, Final Fantasy Friday Fun Nights happens at 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Friday. Come join us. New players, existing players, we all do things as a group and have a great time doing it. There may be some Palace of the Dead action going on, maybe some pony farming, maybe helping people get through their leveling roulettes, or possibly even if they got a roadblock in their story stuff. We're more than happy to help you out or find something that all of us want to do. We have done some old school rating as well to show people that story as well. Other than that, there will be some other stuff to be announced later, possibly some more leveling stuff, but please feel free to say, hey, I'm new to the game, or hey, I want to run this thing. And especially if you're leveling, because a lot of us now have our mentorship, so we can give you experience point bonuses for running a dungeon or two with a mentor. So please give us a holler. We'd love to help you out. We're very active on the Discord channel. Please jump in, say hello. Give us screenshots.
Yeah, you are. To say you're active on the channel is an understatement. I swear, every time I look over at the AIE thing and I look at the Final Fantasy channel, there's like 75 new messages. I'm like, what are you people talking about? But yeah,
well, that is
between you and Star Wars, so it's great.
That's one of our main company chats. I mean, when I'm at work or something like that, and I'm having some downtime, I'll come in and chime in and see what's going on. Maybe we want to set up some groups for that evening. That's what's going on there. Lots of screenshots. And sometimes we're doing a treasure map night, and we want to collectively help people out. Say, hey, where is this map here? We take a picture of the map and we post it into the Discord. Then we can all look at it. I mean, I keep it up at all times when I'm playing the game. And we also use that for our voice chat. It's our replacement for Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or what have you, and it works. Yes, we can easily spin up our own Discord server, but that way people can just jump in,
Right.
ad hoc and say, "Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, welcome in." It's like like an open, common area that we can all congregate in, and I think it's a really awesome idea.
So basically, when you walk in the room, it's Norm.
Exactly. Yeah. Except everyone is our Norm.
Everyone's Norm. Got it.
Everyone
norms your name. Got it. All right.
Everyone, that's right.
Did you just show title us?
Maybe.
Final Fantasy 14, where everyone norms your name?
Maybe.
Everyone norms your boost. But, well, I'll let the community give us names. I won't. That's the listener's job, not us.
Yes, it is. All right.
Okay. And with that, that's our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Abovan for joining us. Where can everyone find you?
Everywhere. I can be found at a lot of different places. I can be found at Abovan on the Twitters. I can be found as Abovan on the AIE Discord. In game, I'm Abovan. Reddit, Abovan. Let's see. I do have Abovan at iCloud.com, but I really don't check that email address.
Send spam there. No.
Nah, I don't care. I don't look at it. Let Apple handle it. Yeah, pretty much. Really, anywhere I'm reachable. If you want to have any questions on the game or just or need help in the game, I'm more than happy to help out. Just give me a holler, online or not. I will at least give you a response.
Yay! And it may involve his twins babbling in the background, but he will give you a response.
Yes.
So all right.
That's my favorite response when it comes to those kiddos, because they're beautiful girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was some pre-show prep that we show off the girls on the camera. So they are not camera shy. I'll tell you what.
No, exactly.
Yeah, Auntie Heather was like, no, I need to see some babies.
Exactly. All right. If you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at the Mew Cow. McCullough is at Cyberwave, and I am at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website at the AIE-guild.org podcast-live-stream, and our Discord server for chat is bit.ly/AIE Podcast Discord. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
All right, and now it's time to play all the great AIE member segments we received this week, including Overly Dramatic News by Hunts the Wind.
And Altitis, because the podcast email rejected my email saying it was spam.
Just send it to me. Yeah, just send it to my other email and I'll get it.
All right. Next time we will be talking with the fine guildies at SWTOR. So until then, AIE, this is Mewcow.
This is Makala.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so we have some show titles at the bottom of the document there for you, Abbo, to review.
Okay. As I double tap my home button to move over, because I did this all on my iPhone. Whoa. Okay, so show title number 1, I have benefit kids and save 18 cents on Final Fantasy FFXIV. Buying a round of boost potions for the noobs, or weapons, armor, and boost potions for the noobs. Play FF Bang V and get a job.
And I do kind of like the FFXIV where everyone norms your name. That's kind of good too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we might have to go there, because that's really
I didn't mean to suggest it. I just kind of like it.
It really promotes what we're trying to do here. That way, everybody's welcome. I might have to give this one to Michaela. So, Michaela, you get your you get the Gil cookies today.
So,
yay!
Again, going to be doing this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that actually is my baking list for the next 2-3 days. Because the child wants scones for birthday breakfast. She wants a lemon cake that night, and then the in-laws are coming over the next day, and she wants angel food cake.
So apparently it pays to have birthdays at your house.
Exactly.
And then she's having some friends over sometime next weekend. I think that's going to be sticky toffee pudding, because we're having making fish and chips.
Tasty.
Always good. All right. Well, thank you, chat room, for joining us as always. And we will talk to you in 2 weeks, but make sure you hit us up on the AIE's Discord or the other Discords we've got and say hello.
Please do.
All right.
Where we know your name,
Bye,
because
Trevor.
it's listed on your character when you say something.
Yep.
But we still know it.